share this with you because I see a lot of people being pushed around, and a lot being pushed around by our kids or our parents, actually, depending on your age, but also by our partners. Okay, so, and self-worth is the first step to self-love. And if you do not feel worthy of love, then you do not love yourself, and you will be treated like shit and accordingly. Okay? Hi, I'm Manuela from the Health and Health Clinic, and I want to make sure that you're not being pushed around by life or by somebody in your life. Okay, so I want to talk to you about boundaries and values. Two major things that every human being needs to be aware of are what kind of boundaries I'm having and what kind of values I'm having. Actually, the values already create the boundaries. So let's say if people live their life and they don't really know consciously what kind of values they have in their life. How do I want to be treated? How do I want to treat others? How do I want to be perceived, or whatever, so have certain values. And I usually tell people and patients, don't come up with a list of 10 or 20, have 3 to maximum 5 values, because anything else is not sustainable on a day-to-day basis, so if you are very clear on how you want to be treated from, let's say, in general, but it reflects out to everything, what you do, let's say at work, from your kids, from your parents, from your partners, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you do not have any values, they treat you the way they think it's all right, and you take it all. And then where does it go? It doesn't sit well. And then you get upset, because they didn't potentially treat you well. But that is because you didn't have the boundaries. And you didn't have the boundaries because you did not know precisely your values, how you want to be treated. So how do you want to be treated? Write it down. Sit in calm and quiet and peaceful situation and reflect. How do I want to be treated? Okay? How are people talking to me? What will I allow? What will I not allow? Again, boundaries. Be very clear on yes or no. This might be a little red flag. That's okay, but it'll be addressed. You may guide, or you may let some stuff slide. At least I do, with my kids, when they treat me in a certain way with the F word, let's say, so, and I always get, oh my God, when I have friends over or some people over, and in particular my one son, oh, fuck, Mom, you can't do that, or whatever, right? And so they look at me and say, that's how you let yourself being treated? I said, you know what? You need to know when they mean it and when they don't. Okay, so I have worked on my boundaries. I'll be honest, I had times where I didn't have any boundaries either. But so I've worked on my boundaries, and I'm very clear on my boundaries. And certain things I let fly because you know what? It's their issue. Why? So what, right? It doesn't go into me, whatever. But if they mean it, it's a totally different perspective. If they take it as a joke, but want to kind of dig it in a little bit, okay, well, it depends, I guess, on my day. Often I just laugh it off and whatever. And, sometimes I say, you know what? No, that's a no-go. So know your boundaries. Know exactly when to say no and when to actually put the brakes on something, and say, you know what? I don't like the way you talk to me, or what you've done there, or whatever, the scenario might be. But you need to start with your boundaries. 3 to 5, max, okay? And then or with your values. And then it's very, very, very easy to say, okay, well, I'm very conscious of my values right now. So if somebody is coming into my life and treats me that way, that I don't want to be treated, it's very easy to say, thank you very much, but you're not my tribe, or thank you very much, and you just walk away and you're not upset. Or if it's somebody in your presence that, family or again at work, that you cannot eliminate out of your life, address it, and say, I'm sorry, this was not politically correct or business wise, or, you're not treating me like that. And if you do that again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to interact with you anymore. Let's bring it down to an adult level. All right. So I thought I'll share this with you because I see a lot of people being pushed around, and a lot being pushed around by our kids or our parents, actually, depending on your age, but also by our partners. Okay. So, and self-worth is the first step to self-love. And if you do not feel worthy of love, then you do not love yourself, and you will be treated like shit and accordingly. Okay? So work with me if you do have a situation at home or in your life that needs attention, and we can change that around. I will guide you through, I will treat you through, and we will heal and get your boundaries and your values straight so that people respect you. But you know what? Do it for yourself. Because if you do not have your own self-respect, nobody else is going to ever respect you. Okay? Don't ever forget that. All right? So follow me on YouTube, Halkan Self Clinic on YouTube, as well as on Facebook. And by all means, reach out. I'm here for there. You don't need to do this alone. All right? Bye.